Welcome to the John Clarence Gomez Show. John.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Okay.
Start na?
Start. Yes.
All right.
How do you start as an comedian? How do you become an comedian?
Comedian ba ako? You calling me a comedian? But
Yes.
totoo ba yan? Oh, am I allowed to speak Tagalog by the way? Um, I don't know if
English.
I would consider myself a comedian.
English
English, no
only.
problem.
Speak English
No
of.
problem.
Yes.
No problem. I don't know if I would consider myself a comedian, Pero. That's very nice of you to say. But I will say I've been a performer um in a way like all my life, but ever since I graduated from acting school is when I did it professionally. So I guess since 2011, technically you would say so 10 years. Oh, it's my 10-year anniversary I guess this year of being a performer.
How do you become an photographer? Photographer.
um, yes, I'm also a photographer. So when I graduated from acting school, my parents gave me a graduation gift, which was my first professional SLR camera. Not even professional, my first camera. And I just like taking photos of people. I like making people laugh. So doing performance and comedy, and then just taking a moment and capturing that moment where I make people laugh. That's how I got started. And then I started, doing it professionally, getting paid a little bit for it. So yeah, about 10 years also.
What is good hang? Good hang podcast.
What?
Good hang.
Why don't? What is Good Hang podcast? Why don't you tell me a little bit? What do you think Good Hang is? If you had to say what it was.
I really, really love that podcast. And that
Thank
is my
you.
inspiration to have a podcast because in December 2018, I list I search in Google about Nathan Hartono because I
Okay.
really really like him and I saw a podcast
He's very
called Good Hang, and the first person that I hear in podcast, because you have a guest in the podcast, I hear in in the first episode that I hear is
yeah.
Mina Kay. You interview
Mina.
him. Yes. How do you start about that podcast?
Oh, great. Okay, yeah. So for your viewers, your listeners who don't know, Good Hang podcast is the podcast that I do with Nathan Hartono. He's a singer and an actor here in Singapore. And Mina, who the episode you happen to listen to, is one of my best friends. She's a singer here as well.
Yes.
So
She
basically, in
is
our
a
podcast, yeah,
she is a Broadway singer.
she's very good. Have you heard her sing?
Yes.
Your videos, she's very, very
Yes,
good.
in YouTube, yes. In she has many viewers, about 200,000 views
Yeah,
in in her Chicago performance.
yeah, that Chicago one was really good. I was there in the audience. I think you can hear me laugh. Anyway, so this podcast is just me and my one of my best friends, Nathan. We sit down, we just talk about whatever's on our mind. Really, we talk about like the news of the day or just nonsense, and we go on big tangents and we just talk about whatever. And that's really, really humbling, JC, that you said it's your big inspiration. That makes me feel really good. So I'm glad it helped you a little bit. Thank you for listening.
Can you speak Tagalog? Because
Oh,
when I listen about your podcast, you're only saying English. Can you hear your Tagalog?
anong gusto mong ano?
Say your name.
Anong gusto,
Say your
ano
name.
dapat sabihin? Ah,
Ako si
ano, ako si John Cancio mula sa Good Hang Podcast.
yes,
Yun lang.
yes.
Yeah, I'm like English was my first language, but I can speak Tagalog pretty well. I wouldn't say like fluent, pero pwede na. Pwede pumasa naman. Yeah.
Is there a latest episode of Goodam Podcast? Is there a latest episode? What is the latest episode of
Oh,
Goodam
good
Podcast?
question. So we just released one a little late this week. So we release every Wednesday. So we released this week. This one was on Thursday. So the recent episode, the main thing we talked about was the riots in Washington D.C. in the Capitol.
Yes, yes.
Um,
I saw that news.
yeah, crazy,
Yes,
right?
many evil far right groups in America, evil far right groups, they protest and they disturb the Congress. Yes,
Terrible, right? And it's hard because like I said, our podcast, I mean, we're not officially, we're like a comedy podcast and we try to
yes,
keep it lighthearted and fun, but we talk about everything. uh Recently someone messaged me on Instagram and said so much. I love, they said to me and Nathan, I love that your podcast is uh relevant and irreverent. Ibig sabihin nun, like basically we talk about important things and not important things, and we make fun of the important things and we show the importance in non-important things. So I think it's a good mix of that. So if you want to listen, check it out, goodhangpodcast.com. Thanks everyone, shout out,
yes.
plug
And
kayo.
last year, 2020,
Mm.
you have a concert in the Esplanade course in Singapore,
Yeah.
Goodhang Live. I
Yeah.
remember that. Yes, I listened to that and I really, really love.
Oh,
Can you
thank
tell
you.
about that event? Can you
Yeah,
tell?
that was super fun. We were approached by the Esplanade, which is a big theater here in Singapore, that if we can do a live show for them. And of course we said yes. So it was actually Christmas. So can you believe it was more than a year ago already? It's crazy. We had our friend, one of our best friends, Inchua, come on. She's a musician here in Singapore. Also does amazing music. Also very funny. So we had her on to guest, and I'll let the secret out. I played Santa Claus. Like we tried to make
Yes,
it sound
yes,
like
I remember that.
it was me. It was me. Sorry, I have to admit. And then yeah, we just had some fun. Nathan sang some songs. It was a good time. Sayang you weren't there. It'd be nice if you were there to visit. Maybe next year after COVID. Mm.
Let's talk about the episode 98 and the episode 99 because last
Wow.
year, 2019, I visit your website and I see that no latest Gudang post because the episode 98 called Netflix and Spill was
Yeah.
published in 2018, but the Begin Again, the 99 was post was published in July 20. How the episode was very very long.
Yes. Sorry
Can you
for the
tell about
break.
the break? Do you have a
Sure.
podcast break?
Sure. So basically, what happened is that we didn't really plan on having a break. It's just like uh, Nathan and I got really busy in different ways, and Nathan was going to China
Yes.
more often at the time, and we weren't living together yet. So it was kind of like we didn't mean to, but we kind of took an extended break. But it was nice though because eventually later that year or in end of 2019, Nathan moved in to my apartment. So he's not here right now, or else I'd have him come in. But his room is just like there. So now that we're roommates, we have no excuse to have no episodes. So ever since we started back up again with 99, we continued all the way. Like we've missed one episode I think, because Nathan's mom was in the hospital. But during that break, yeah, Nathan was doing his thing in China, making music. I was doing a lot more teaching and doing some projects here and there. Sorry for the long break. We'll try not to do it again, and if we do, we'll let you know.
And my one of my favorite episode in Gudang podcast because I really really love listening to your podcast and I listen to your many episodes. And my favorite episode in Gudang podcast is Dwayne Tan. Do you know Dwayne Tan?
Oh, I
He is
love
he
doing.
is a YouTube blogger and he has a YouTube channel called Disney Dwayne. He
Yeah,
loves Disney. Can can you tell about your friendship?
yeah, I would love to. So Dwayne Tan, we go back a long way. In fact, I think I met Dwayne around the same time I met Nathan, and also I guess it would be when Nathan met Dwayne, because Nathan and Dwayne back in 2011, yeah, I think so, 2011 or 2012, did a theater show called Spring Awakening. That my
Yes,
girlfriend at the
I
time.
know. Yes,
Yeah,
I really really
I
know
know
that
you know.
show. I saw that on YouTube.
Yeah. So they did that show together. That's where they met. That's how we got to know each other. That's how I met them also. And then similar to Nathan, I realized that Dwayne and I had a lot in common. So we've been friends ever since. Like we're both weirdly super into Disney. Maybe him definitely more than me. But yeah, he's a good guy. He's a theater maker. He does a lot of voiceovers. Um, he did a video that went very viral a couple years ago. It got over like million. It got millions of views. It was when he went to visit the Disneyland in China. I don't know if you saw that video, but if you haven't,
Yes.
check it out. It's kind of interesting. Kind of sad also. They were just showing
Dwayne
how
Tan, I saw that video in on his YouTube channel called Disney Dwayne. He is
yeah,
in Shanghai Disneyland.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, he's a good guy. I'll let him know that you say hi.
And and I and I saw you on YouTube.
Mm,
You are in Universal Studios Singapore in 2013 with
yep.
with a dinosaur. Do you remember that?
Do I do so for a long time, actually for most of the time that I was doing the Good Hang podcast, I actually worked at Universal Studios here in Singapore as a performer. So one of my job, I was a show host performer. I did a lot of different things, but one of the ones I did was that I had a dinosaur that like it looked like I was carrying it, but really this one was like a fake arm, and then my real arm was inside the dinosaur, so I was puppeteering the dinosaur like this and talking to it. That was a really fun job. I got to interact with kids quite a lot. It was very hot though. Oh my gosh, so much sweat, but it was fun. It was fun to like interact with kids, make them laugh and stuff, scare people also because you can like shock them with your dinosaur. So that was a fun gig doing Dr. Rodney. Ooh, what's that? What you got?
Do you know this?
Oh
This
my gosh, yes
Nathan
I
Nathan
do.
Artono, the Great
How'd you get
Wall.
that? Wow, how did you get that?
And I buy this on Carousel.
No kidding. Wow.
On Carousel because I don't visit Singapore in my life.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's the Great Wall. That's the show that Nathan did.
and
You would know.
and here is the autograph. This book has
Wow.
an autograph from Nathan and Nayang Jion. Do you know Nayang Jion?
Yeah, it's her birthday today or yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah,
Happy
wish her happy birthday.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
To
Here is
Naya.
the
Oh, that's so cool.
here is the
Can you hold it higher? I want to see the signature. Yeah,
signature.
that's very cool.
That's the signature.
I'll take a screenshot. I'll show that to Nathan.
Yes. Nathan, that's my dream. To, to be I want to be him to be my guest. I want him
Oh
to be my
yeah,
that's
I
my
think we can
really
arrange
that's
that.
my dream because I really really love him.
Oh, I think we can
Nathan.
arrange that. I'll work. I'll let him know. Maybe we can organize that for you.
And I saw you on her on and I saw you on his music video called Electricity.
Yes.
You and
Oh,
Erwin.
yeah. That was a fun one. We did that a couple years ago.
When I saw
Uh,
that video,
mhm.
Erwin is a great dancer in the video, but you are really, really hard about dancing. Yes.
I had a good time. Erwin's a really good mover. To be fair though, that's not the first time I heard this, but I will say that they took takes where Nathan looked good and I happened to not look good. I got the choreography quicker than Nathan. I just also my shoes were hard to dance in, and my suit was tight, so not my fault. But it was a good video. I really enjoyed making it. Yeah, it was a fun. Thanks for checking it out. Oh yeah.
What is
Oh
the best
yeah.
what is the best episode of Gudang podcast for you? What is the best episode for you? The best
Well, I
episode you
mean,
did.
hard to say. I mean, we've had like 152 episodes now, so hard to think about it. There's some that are very memorable though, like the one we did, the one we did where Nathan got drunk. I think that was like around episode 50 or 52. I think it was our 1 year episode. We were supposed to both get drunk, but my tolerance was just too high, and Nathan was like passed out. Um, we did one with Tan Keng Hua, who's an actress who's she was
Yes.
in crazy. She was in
Yes,
Crazy Rich
episode
Asians.
79.
That's the one. Yeah. So we went to her house and she was really a cool lady. It was nice to talk to. I mean, my favorite episodes are the ones we talk to like interesting people. So that was a really memorable one. Yeah, but every episode's fun. Every episode's great. I enjoy doing it. Yeah. Is it okay? Can I interview you? I feel like you have more questions to ask me, but I want to know a
Yes.
little bit more about you,
Yes.
if that's okay. But
Uh,
because I mean, this is the JC show, right? And you're JC, and so am
yes.
I. I'm also
Yes.
JC. So tell me about yourself, JC. Where are you now? You're in the Philippines, right? Where in the
Yes. Yes.
Philippines?
Uh, My name is John Charles Gomez, and I was born with autism. And I have many participated in many events like history event. Like in 2018, I won first place in the history contest in my
Wow.
school,
Wow.
history. In 2019, I also participated in singing contest, and
Wow.
I sing an Tagalog song. Do you know this song?
Ano yun?
Inday ng buhay ko, ikaw ay nasaan? Do
Hindi
you
ko
know
alam
that
yun.
song?
That's nice. Who's that by? Is that a traditional
But
song?
I lost. But I lost at the
Oh,
singing contest. And I performed in my school in 2018. And many,
wow.
many people are clapping to me. That's my very, very best moment.
Well, you have a very nice voice.
Yes.
A nice baritone.
And my
Are you also
favorite song, and my favorite Tagalog song is
uh,
Mitulo na. That song is from Max Urban. And my favorite, also my favorite Tagalog song is Sana naman ay pakinggan ang damdamin ko. I really, really
wow,
love
I
that
know
song.
those
Yes,
songs.
yes.
Because yung panahon ko, like all it was Paroky ni Edgar. So like, uso pa ba ang harana? That's the one I like.
And
Oh man.
do you know this song? Lumayo ka man sa akin at ako'y iyong limutin.
I know this song. What's the song called again?
Lumayo ka man sa akin at ako'y iyong limutin. Masakit man ang damdamin, pilit pa ring
Paroky,
titiisin.
right?
Yes, do you know that song?
I forgot the name of the song, but it's a funny song, right?
And we have no time, and this is the last question. What is
Okay.
your advice and tips for many people who want to be an podcast host, just like me? What is your advice?
That's a
What
great
is your
question.
advice? What is your
I
advice?
think
And give some little tips.
sure, I would love to. I think one thing is find out find out what makes you you. Like I think that's the main thing, right? Because if you're in a podcast, your audience will find you if you're authentic. So I think you're doing a great job doing that, just being yourself and asking wonderful questions and just being you and what makes you special and what makes you interesting. So you're doing a great job. I think being consistent, like if I can be like give like a real like bland answer, is if you release, hey, if you say we release every Wednesday, then stick to that as best you can. And we're not good at following that, but sometimes we're really good, sometimes we're not good. So sometimes we need to follow our own advice. And third, I think is just be persistent. Like I think, especially if you have guests on, like I love how you were like hounding me for an answer. I was like trying to get me to come on, and here I am, and that's great for you. Great for you. I think you sent me a message on Instagram. I think you sent me a message in email, so it was good. It was nice to know that I was wanted. So keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing it, and remember why you do it. So why do you do your podcast? Can I ask you, JC? Why
Yes,
do you make JC Going
I
Show?
made a I made a podcast in 2019 June 30
Mm-hmm.
because at that time I was boring in my house, no person to talk to me,
Uh huh.
only my mother and father. So I decided that I created this podcast to make new friends.
Yeah. So that's good. So it sounds to me like you want to make connections with people, and that's great. And
Yes,
I think that's the whole point of podcasts. I think that's why we love podcasts. The
yes.
connection we make with our listeners, the connections we make together with our guests, and that's kind. I mean, not to be. I mean, maybe it's a little dramatic, but I think that's what makes us human, right? The need for human connection and to
Bye.
listen. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Goodbye.
John. Thank you
This
for
was
guesting to
fun.
my podcast.
Thank you,
Bye.
Jason. Bye bye. Do I have to leave? Should I leave? Okay, bye bye. Have a good day, JC. Bye, everyone.